Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. My name is IJ,
And I'm Dior.
and tonight we're going to go over Married at First Sight Reunion Part 1. This is 5 months later. That's what the host Kevin said. So they've been married for 5 months past their saying I do and I'm going to stay married. And we find out, unfortunately, that half of them didn't stay married. I
But
was
is
shocked.
that surprising? You were shocked.
Yeah, I was shocked. Oh, so Kevin, the host, who was not as good as Pullman, did ask some pivotal questions, but we find out, it starts out, we see everybody there. You can't tell who's married and who's not married.
Mm-hmm.
But as we get into it and everybody's giving their comments, like you notice that Mark the Shark and Lindsay, she says some snippy things, and you're just like, but everybody else looks pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we might as well just get into it. We don't have that much time today, so we just wanted to get straight into it. We start off with, of course, the couple that we were all in turmoil about, right? Olajuwon and Katina.
Mm-hmm.
Were you surprised? So everybody, just let you know, Olajuwon goes into this nice soliloquy about, he saw himself on TV. He saw how he was acting and he was shocked. And he said, why couldn't anybody tell me about my behavior? I was just like, the experts tried to, but you weren't trying to hear them, was he?
He definitely wasn't. He got mad at Dr. Pepper the last time she tried to, tell him about himself.
Right. So, I mean, nobody could tell you about yourself. You had to actually see it to believe
Yeah.
it,
Yeah. But I'm glad. I mean, because some people could see themselves, and there are some people on the show that saw themselves and still didn't think that they did anything wrong. So, it's good that even though he needed that level of, introspection in order to see himself, like he had to actually visually see himself on TV. It's good that he was able to self-reflect and do that. So
right. And he gave kudos to his wife, Katina, for standing by his side, even though she was reading probably from blogs and comments that she should leave him, why is she with him, all that sort of thing. She stuck by her man. And look what happened in the end. He was just like, forgive me, I was wrong, and I was hard, and he learned from his mistakes, right? It shows some maturity, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was too happy for him. I was too happy for her. And then, so they stayed married, everyone. 5 months later, they're still married. How do you think she looked?
I think she looked nice. I thought her hair was cute. She had a cute dress on.
She did. She looked really skinny though, but I mean, she was a slender person before, but now I think everybody looked like they lost weight, But, I was really happy when he said, he's changed and he didn't realize how strict he was on his beliefs. And at least he showed his true self instead of hiding himself. And he said, women, you should be cautious of men that try to hide their true selves and embrace the men that, let their true selves be shown. And, Katina did that. She embraced him and said she knew deep down inside there was a good man. And I think after the cameras were off and he got to see himself, that's what made the change in his behavior. And so what did you think when he got down on his knees and said, I love you, will you be mine?
Yeah, I thought that was sweet.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, because I know Steve did it, on decision day for Noi, but it's good that they got that extra time to confirm that they really wanted to be together and did that. So I thought that was really sweet.
Right, I did too. And, she said, I love you to him. And she goes, this is the first time I'm saying I love you. I was like, wow. So you guys been together for 5 months plus the show. So 7 months. So in the 7 months, you guys have never said I love you.
Yeah, that's crazy. And living together, that's That's crazy.
I know. And, you know, in the next 5 years, they see themselves having kids. She's probably graduated. They're living their life. And I think the thing that shows pure commitment on his part was he sold his house.
Mm-hmm.
And they're moving an apartment because he left the old Isaiah in the back.
Mm-hmm. Isaac,
yeah, the old Isaac in the back.
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
I'm happy for her, and I hope it continues, and I hope that they continue to grow together. I definitely think they should do. I mean, anyone who does this process should continue to do like marital counseling, because you really getting to know that person from scratch. And they don't give them a lot of support during the filming of the show. So they're just kind of like off on their own. So I hope that they do, seek counseling, because I mean, he seems to need that a little bit, because he won't be able to see anything that he's doing now because they're not being filmed. So in order for him to like look back on any mistakes that he continues to make, they may need to go to, have a counselor.
I 100% agree, Dior. And, kudos to Kevin and Katina. We wish you the best of luck. We're happy.
Olajuwon and Katina.
Who did I say?
Kevin.
Oh, who is Kevin? Oh, Kevin's the host. Olajuwon and Katina, we wish you the best of luck. Kudos to you guys for pulling it off. And I can't wait to see you guys the next season. The next season starts in July. I know, right? So on to the next couple, Jasmina and what's his name? Michael. That was they came in coupled. I thought Jasmina looked great in that green dress. Loved that color green on her. It was vibrant, just like Katina's red was vibrant. Michael's suit was dapper too, full of color. And they said all nice and cozy next to each other and talking to each other. And I was like, yay, another couple making it. Girl, I was so let down, right?
I mean, I knew by the previews that they didn't make it. And I knew like they weren't planning to live with one another, even though the communication had gotten better. I think they're both very stubborn people. And yeah, it doesn't take a lot to kind of mess it up. So, I mean, just to kind of like mess up the groove. So I wasn't surprised.
I don't understand. Why did they move? Why did they live separately? He never, this is the problem with Kevin. Kevin, you're not a very good interviewer. Because the minute he said they were talking about texting each other back and forth, I'd have been like, you guys aren't living together? You're married? Why aren't you living together? Because that's the first sign of trouble right there. That didn't make any sense, did it?
Well, I mean, I think we already knew that they weren't planning to live together. And they said within 12 days, basically they had decided not to be together anymore.
You know what? Throw it away. Throw that relationship away, because y'all, I mean, it makes no sense. If you're going to try in the relationship and not make it friends, then you need to live together. You're married. It's okay. But okay, so they decided to divorce. They went their own separate ways. And I guess she said she felt that she was doing all the work.
Them explaining the situation completely confused me, because he said that, okay, so he is the one who called her to say, this is not working for me. And we just I want to get a divorce. And she said she agreed. But he said he did that based on the fact that he felt she wasn't putting in any effort. And then she felt like he wasn't putting in any effort, because he had only, she said she was texting him, and he had only planned one time to come see her. And I guess they had gotten into an argument. So and then she confirmed that it was really the argument that did it for her. And so then I was like, so was it that he wasn't putting in any effort, or you just got mad after the argument? So it was just really confusing. I didn't know what to believe. And then they kind of talked about, actually their marriage. Actually, that was in the beginning, but I didn't realize that when they had, gotten into it in the honeymoon, that he really didn't speak to her for a month. Like,
well, it was after when Dr. What's his name came, Pastor Cal came and was talking to them, and she said that he was kind of aggressive towards her. The way he was communicating.
Oh, that's when, okay, that's when they didn't speak.
Right.
For a month, though?
I know, girlfriend. I know.
It doesn't seem like it was a month, but okay. So they didn't speak for a month.
Uh-huh.
I actually understood. I think she was very difficult. I don't want to call her a bitch, but so she's kind of like a Lindsay.
Yeah, she's to me, she's actually worse than a Lindsay. Because Lindsay's all up in your face. She's covert about it. He doesn't trust her. He can't be vulnerable with her. Mm-hmm. She's judgmental. Mm-hmm. Everything has to be her way or no way. Mm-hmm. How can you live with that?
Mm-mm. I completely understood when he said that he didn't want to talk to her because he was afraid that like another situation may come up where she may accuse him of being aggressive, and because he didn't feel he was aggressive and he doesn't know what she perceived as aggression, and they obviously couldn't talk about it because I think around that time she was just saying, you should know what I'm talking about. Like she really wouldn't explain anything to him. She was just like, you should already know, I shouldn't have to tell you. So it was probably hard for him to even understand what went wrong. And so I could completely understand him shutting down.
Right.
And he even said, like, we didn't really have anyone to help us. And that tells me, like, hey, showrunners, you need to realize that these people need more support.
Right.
And before they go on their honeymoon, maybe they should go through some marital counseling.
Right. And he said he didn't have the tools to communicate with her. Mm-hmm. I thought, wow. And so he stayed basically silent. Mm-hmm. And that really did hurt their relationship, especially, how judgmental she is and so forth. So even though they moved forward, by then the damage had been done on both sides.
That's what I think too. I honestly think that he had gotten over it. I don't think she had.
No, I don't think she ever will.
He got over it, but I think it made it difficult for him to kind of make other advancements towards her, mm-hmm. Because if she says like, hey, I'm not feeling you, if she says that every morning, like he said, he wasn't going to try to hug her, kiss her, or I guess she said it didn't have to be physical. The compliments is where he wasn't complimenting her or giving her that verbal
confirmation.
Yeah. So,
well, you know what? Did she give him any verbal confirmation of interest?
She said she did. She would tell him when he looked nice. And
okay.
She did say that she did that. And he confirmed that he wasn't giving her that. So, mm-hmm. Yeah, I just sad to see it.
Yeah. So on to the next couple. I guess they're apart. He's moved on. She's moved on. She's not dating anyone right now. Mm-hmm. And he might be interested in somebody, might not be interested in somebody. I don't know. Do you think that he's thinking maybe they can get back together?
I don't think so.
Okay. But they made it cute. Like they were sitting so close and comfortable with each other, right? Like a couple. So it was weird. It was disappointing, mm-hmm. but it was weird. So, one thing we didn't say about Olajuwon and Katina, I wonder if they've had sex now.
Yeah, they confirmed that they had sex.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, I think after when they met up after decision day, yeah.
Okay, I missed that then. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, then next is Noi and
Steve.
No surprise there, they're still together. What's weird about them is that she still keeps her place.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes there 1 day a week, 1 or 2 days a week. And he doesn't miss her because they're always together. I guess because he doesn't work and he's always at home.
Mm.
So Steve refuses to tell us how much money he makes, how much money he
I
has
mean,
in
why
the
should
bank.
he? He shouldn't have to
Shouldn't
do
have
that.
to. Yeah, he doesn't have to. I still want to know how much you have in the bank,
I
Steve,
mean,
but it's up to you. And
whatever it is, it makes Nor comfortable. She said she's comfortable now with their situation and the
right,
agreement that they came up with. So
right. I still do not think it's appropriate for her to have her own place. It doesn't make sense. If you guys are trying to save money, then why? But maybe her lease isn't up yet.
it could
Maybe
be
her
it.
lease isn't up yet, and that's why she's still maintaining her space. But needless to say, she still has her place. They're still living separately every once in a while. They do plan to have kids in the future. And did you find anything else of really interesting to talk about them? Just that they're together.
Yeah.
The only thing I found interesting was that I didn't know that Steve did not like Lindsay. Did you know that?
Oh no, but it was very interesting. It was, I think, I think that highlighted the things that like I was the one who was like, I don't like Lindsay. The whole season, I didn't like her. I just didn't like the way she was behaving. She just really seems like a disingenuous person. And so when he said that he didn't like her, and it was like really before that they even went to the honeymoon, because he said it was before that incident with Elijah Wan, which was on the way to the honeymoon, that he told Noy to kind of like, watch herself around her and not to tell her any of their business. Which
Right.
I thought was interesting that Noy would share her business with
Lindsay?
Lindsay, yeah, especially when she was trying to, she wasn't really disclosing things in front of other people. Like she wouldn't want to talk in front of other people. So I thought it was interesting that she was talking to Lindsay about their personal business,
Right.
especially after Steve asked her not to.
So I had no clue that Steve did not get along with her. But there's not that much to say about Steve and Noy. They're still together. They still love each other. That's great. And yeah, that's about it with them. So let's get to our last couple. Lindsay and Mark, the shark. Mark's suit looked a little bit too tight. I have to say that. I just don't care what anybody else says. His suit was too tight. Lindsay looked great. I loved her haircut. She's lost weight. She looked good. She lives in California, Sacramento, I think it is, or
Palo Alto.
Palo Alto. I don't know. She lives there. She's living a good life. She's met somebody, and he's mature. He's smart. And
I felt like she was talking about this person in past tense.
I
I don't
think she
think
was talking in present tense.
I really got past tense. Because she said, like everything she said, I'm pretty sure is in past tense. Because I remember it being really, really weird. I was just like, why are you talking about him like that when it doesn't seem like y'all are still together. I think it really was to like, I guess she was trying to make Mark jealous or upset.
Make him upset, mad. He was probably thinking that
like,
poor guy.
Yes. Whoever he is. I'm sorry for him.
Okay, so we're going to tell you guys the whole story from Lindsay's perspective. So after the show, she helped him fix up his mom's old place from top to bottom, helped him remodel it, everything, kitchens, everything, helped him find a new job, making the best money that he's ever made, gave him moral support, was there for him during times when he needed somebody and had nobody else, and then told Lindsay that, it's not working out. He said, yes, they did get into arguments, and that she was like cutthroat, right? During their arguments, she went for the jugular, and he'd had enough of it. And so he ended their relationship. Lindsay never denied any of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. I
And
don't think, I
he
mean, I
didn't
don't think
deny.
that they should have stayed together anyway. I'm not sure what the
Yeah,
reason for that was. Maybe he didn't
she
want to look bad, but yeah, I definitely don't think they should have stayed together. And I can imagine, especially doing something so, and I think um, Uchenna and I talked about this last time, that doing home repairs is a very like stressful time, you know, and to do that with your partner, like, takes a lot of patience and you really need to be able to work together. So I can only imagine how she was dragging him during that whole 7 days, which I was like, that's a very short time to do a complete remodel, but
right.
okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
When my husband and I remodeled at our old house, our first house we had together, we remodeled the whole entire house. I thought I was owner of Home Depot.
Yeah.
I was a part-time owner of a Home Depot. We were there every
Mhm.
other day making decisions. But you know what? We actually didn't argue because I let him run the reins in it because I don't know nothing about remodeling and
Mhm.
pulling up floors. We did it all ourselves with our own two pairs of hands. We redid
Mhm.
that. Put in air conditioning, flooring, kitchen, sinks, electrical stuff, did the whole entire thing ourselves. And I have to tell you guys, it was stressful, but it's because Mark and Lindsay should not have stayed together. You were right, Dior. You were definitely right. So they went their own separate ways. What I didn't like was how demeaning she was to him, right?
I mean, she's been like that the whole season. You guys are the ones that liked her.
But I
I
didn't see it that way. I didn't see her calling him stupid. Like she was calling him stupid, telling the producers that she needed
she
somebody that was smart to be with. And no, Mark was not smart. She called him creative instead.
Yeah, I mean, but you didn't see that in her the whole season, that like she just does whatever, she says whatever she can to hurt him.
I saw that she was a smart woman during the season. I could tell she was smart and she knew a lot and she adventured a lot and went out a lot. Well, Mark
Mm-hmm.
was more confined in his own little world. And that part didn't. She needs a strong man who's not going to put up with her BS and who has a thick skin to deal with her mouth. And Mark just was not that guy. So the therapist this season, yeah, they got out of the 5 couples, 2 of them are right. The other 3 was a no-go. Sorry. You know, we didn't talk about is there anything else you want to say about Mark and Lindsay?
No,
No, we didn't talk about Alyssa and what was the other guy's name?
Chris.
Chris, Alyssa and Chris. They were on the show too. They talked first. Once again, Kevin didn't ask the right questions. Kevin was boring. Kevin needs to get off the show. I did not like his I just didn't. I didn't find his questions pertinent. I mean, nothing that Kevin asked was of any interest to me.
What question did you want him to ask?
Okay, for each couple, I could have came up with 10, 12 different questions.
I'm just talking about Chris and Alyssa.
Chris and Alyssa, there was nothing really to. Chris took over that interview.
I was proud of him. I was glad that he, made it clear that he would have ended it well before, had he known how she was talking to him. I'm glad he is the one that ended it. And yeah, that he just didn't like her. I really like that because she tried to apologize in the beginning.
Did you
And
see she
then when,
wasn't looking at him at all when she was apologizing? She was talking to Kevin. She wasn't even talking to Chris.
yeah, she's just,
So fake.
she's a sorry excuse for a human being. I'm sorry. Like that, I just, like, I don't see how I could watch myself. She was probably, oh, I look cute, like looking at herself, during the season, and didn't see like the real person that she was. And so, yeah, when
Oh, I
Kevin
think
asked
somebody told
her,
her. I think somebody told her the real person she is, because that's why she tried to do that cleanup during this reunion.
when she apologized, Kevin, like, was trying to clarify whether she meant that she would have given the process a try. And she still was like, no, I would not have. I don't think that we were compatible. Based on what? Like, why didn't you think you're compatible? She said they didn't have the same values. Oh, okay, he's not equal. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
But
she was.
okay, but do you think I don't blame her for not giving it a shot. You're not attracted to somebody, you're not attracted to them.
But this is the thing. This is the thing. You're putting. First of all, there's been 13 seasons of this show prior to your season. Okay, they don't just take your checklist and find the person that's on your checklist.
Right.
In addition to some of the things, if you said this is a non-negotiable, then they'll either decide to use that and the things that they think you need, or they'll say that you're not matchable. And so if you weren't honest about like how open or closed off you were to the process, then you can't be mad at the experts. And you weren't open to the process because you did not even try. You saw him, as soon as you saw him, you didn't think that you guys were compatible. And she said it wasn't based on looks, but it was.
It was based
on looks. I think she tried to find other things to kind of like confirm that, for her affirmation or confirmation that they weren't compatible. So she's just trying to kind of grasping for straws at that point. But yeah, I think it was based on looks. And so this wasn't a process for you because you're very narrow-minded and you weren't open. This is not, you can't, if you can't trust it enough to give it a try and really go full in. I mean, you could even pull the not Lindsay, what's her name? Jasmina. And I mean, like, at least she lived with the guy.
At least
and she stayed in the same room with them. Yeah. You could have done something to make it look like you're giving it a try. The things that they were showing behind the camera.
She lost control of herself. Or it's not that she lost control. I take it back. She didn't lose control of herself because it was constant. It was her true self showing, where she was just a mean girl.
Yeah. And I felt really bad for him. I mean, thankfully it was like, well, I guess it doesn't matter, but
10 days.
Yeah. But that's hard to see because he didn't see that aspect of it, but it's really hard to see someone, just kind of drag your name in the mud. And
well, he saw it afterwards, and I think that's what made him so mad.
Yeah. But I don't even like that they're giving her any airtime,
Right.
I just wish they had just brought Chris on. Let's just hear his side of the story. We don't care about your side of the story. Whatever Chris says, we automatically believe. Just like, don't give her anything. Just make her look like the worst person on the face of this earth, because that's what she is.
Right. So we have next week is the reunion number 2. And then we get to see some drama. And then finally, the next season of Married at First Sight, season 15, starts in July.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we get a break?
And I think it's in California.
Oh, really? So in some new fresh meat.
I think it's San Diego.
Okay.
I think it's San Diego. I looked it up, but it's somewhere in California. It's the first time I think that they've been in California.
All right. Well, we have got to end, everybody, but we want to remind you to like, subscribe, put your comments below, tell us what you think about this reunion number 1, and turn on your post notifications. And we will see you on Friday for